I clicked it. Okay, we're live.
Down there, 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 there.
Welcome back, people of the future who are watching this video. Welcome back to our Game of Thrones House of the Dragon after show. We just watched episode 3, that is dubbed Second of His Name. I'm Melissa. This is my channel. I have Adriana, aka Sailor Tortilla, in the house, and then we have Andres again with his lovely wig this week.
Whoop whoop.
He looks so pretty and Targaryen-y.
Very Valyrian.
Kind of getting that line of succession.
At some point of this episode, I will let Sailor Tortilla describe the vibe of her hat because it's very much in line with the theme of this episode. I approve. I do.
I'm glad to hear that. It was this or a Targaryen wig, and I decided today was crab day. It's time for a seafood boil.
Yeah,
just in time.
Dragon flavor.
I felt like this show is very much talking about the heirs and royalty, and that is why I'm wearing my crown. So yeah, if you guys are watching this and you want to keep up with this every week, make sure to subscribe and leave us a comment about what you thought about the episode. In a few seconds, I'm going to ask us all how we rate it, and I want you guys to let me know what you rate the episode between 1 to 5 dragons, and let us know why. And what else did I want to say? Oh, okay. So this is like a reaction show, but also it's like a recap show, right? So I'm going to quickly recap the episode because, in case you guys need a little reminder when you watch this in the future. True. So we open up with the episode, Second of His Name, and it is 2 years later. I didn't know the time jump would be that big. I have thoughts about this, but whatever. Okay. So they are burning Valeryon ships. They are crucifying and then being fed to the crabs. And someone's being crashed by a dragon. I laughed so hard at that scene because I saw it coming. I was like, how is the dragon going to see who's a Westerosi soldier and who's not? Like, how can they see
that? Was very anime of them. That's my favorite scene in the entire episode.
I have thoughts about that as well. And then we see a 2-year-old Aegon. Aegon is the son who was born, who is the titular character of this episode. And now we're under the tree, and under the tree, we see a little bit of a power struggle between Alicent and her ex-best friend, Rhaenyra. She's like, I'm queen, but I'm the princess. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, we see that happening. And then the hunt happens, and the hunt is like a whole ass festival. People are like having parties. There's like a really fancy tent that is happening. Rhaenyra is there. Clearly doesn't want to be there because she's being pushed out and unwanted. She's clearly pissed off. There's a Lannister dude, Jason Lannister, who is trying to push up on Rhaenyra because he wants a hand in there in the power. He wants to marry her. And Rhaenyra is not about marriage. And they start like a screaming match in public, her father. I thought this was very weird because I feel like personal family matters. If you're royalty, doing that in public to me felt weird and off, but whatever. And then I wrote down, yo, fuck Viserys because I feel like he's being a terrible father. And then we're running to the woods because Rhaenyra was like, fuck everyone. Yes, Criston Cole. I wrote that because he's out there running after her. And I'm sorry, but he is so cute. So I'm like really feeling that he's going off to the woods to go see, if the princess is upset. What beast are they talking about? I did not know what a white hart is, but we found out later. I like that he still picks her for the heir, but throughout the episode, we see he's kind of like, did I make the right decision? I don't know. He's so sick of the politics. He has like a huge hangover. He's getting drunk. And then Otto says, just betroth your freaking kids. Have your little son betrothed to your daughter. And King Viserys is tired of the politics. He literally says this. He just keeps on getting more drunk. And then the boar is out while we see Rhaenyra and her man, not her man, but I wish she was her man, out in the woods. And then the boar comes out and then they kind of like kill the beast. Rhaenyra slices and dices. She's pretty violent because she's pissed off. She's taking out all her anger on the boar. She doesn't even get injured, really. And now we see the king. We see that he's doubting his choices. He, at first he was like, yeah, I picked her. How dare you even question mine? But then he's like, later on, he's like, wait, but now I have a son. This is all like not part of my dream. I don't know what's going on. Then finally we see the white hart. And I'm like, is that a sign that she's the chosen one? Otto and Alicent have a talk. Otto was all about Aegon being the heir. He's kind of like pushing on his daughter to like, you need to get in the, king's ear and like, let him know what's up. Like, you can't just really choose your daughter, really. Alicent convinces him to send help because there has been a war going on for the past 2 years, I guess, over at the Stepstones. Viserys tells her that she can choose who to marry. He tells his daughter it's fine, which is more advice from Alicent. I noticed that she said, "Don't worry, she'll get married, but she has to believe that she's the one who chose it." And so we are back here at the Stepstones during this war, and then it seems like Daemon gets really pissed off that his brother is interfering and coming to help, because he's out there trying to prove himself. So he's like, "I don't need your help, big bro." And then Daemon is out there, and then he's waving his white flag. He surrenders, and I'm like, "Really? You would rather die than set your pride aside, dude?" And then I call out all the BS. Like, really, all those arrows miss him. I know later on the arrows, like, they pierce him, but really, I feel like so many times he should have died, but whatever. This is very like Game of Thrones season 8. When did he kill the Crab King? I didn't see this happen. Maybe somebody could point that out to me. And then I feel like he was basically in an open field and he should have died. But yeah, and that is my succinct notes that I wrote down as a recap for you guys.
How many dragons?
I think we saw 1. No, 2. We saw Syraxes, and I don't know the name of Laenor's dragon yet.
Oh, no, I mean, like, how many dragons out of 5?
Sorry,
out of 5 dragons, how many dragons?
You go first, Age.
2. I thought the second half of the episode was so boring. It was all action. I don't watch Game of Thrones for the action. The first 4 seasons were not that. It reminded me of season 8, like you said. I don't know if I'm used to skipping 2 years between episodes, but it's a different show. I guess I got to get used to it. But oh man, they lost me. They lost me so hardcore. Like by the time they got to the Stepstones, I'm like, is this like Westeros's Vietnam? Like what's going on? But the crabs were cool, and crab people. Woo! I think we lost, but hey.
All
yeah,
right.
It looks like you guys took an L.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So good timing to wear the crab hat.
Yeah,
it's my last
done.
time as a crab person.
I love your rating and explanation. And Andres, what is your rating and why?
I'm gonna go 2.5. I feel like leading up to the battle scene, everything that happened, made sense. It developed well, but it was kind of slow and boring. And it seems like the whole first 50 minutes of the episode were just about like a misunderstanding between Rhaenyra and her father about like she doesn't believe he's gonna keep her as the heir, and then he's kind of like pretty determined. I mean, he's honest about the moments he has doubts, but he really stands up to a lot of people that want him to do otherwise. So it's just that fundamental misunderstanding, which is good for the character, like to know more about the characters, but it took up basically the whole episode. So it was it's kind of a lot. And then the battle scene, I agree with you, Melissa. I thought it didn't make any sense. It was kind of just there to like push the Daemon story forward. Now you kind of realize that he was able to win that on his own, just as things were getting out of hand and he was going to need help. But the plan was so stupid. It shouldn't have worked. There's no way that should have gotten everybody to leave their cave just for one guy. They should have killed him really easily. Yeah. And that should have been how it happened. But it was cool to see the crab feeder cut in half and that whole storyline just come to an end. I'll accept that it served its purpose. 2.5 out of 5 dragons. So the episodes have progressively gotten not as good, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad.
I give it a 2.7. For a while, I was thinking I was going to give it a 2. And then, but I kept making excuses. I was okay. I guess that like, because I was annoyed with the time jump, because for me, I wanted to see like more of like the conversations and the reactions after he made that huge announcement in the last episode. And then we time jump, and then we don't really get to see that confrontation between her and Alicent and her dad. So I feel like those kind of scenes would be like really great to see. It's like a family drama situation, and I feel like we're really missing out, and I'm kind of annoyed. But I see that like the relationship between her and her father is still very, it's not great. And as long as they still show that, because they're showing that this is still like building like a rift and a wall between them. And I think that's just going to get probably like very tumultuous as the episodes go on still. So it's still like served its purpose, but I was just annoyed at like missing those scenes. I enjoyed seeing a dragon. And it introduced some new characters. Like we have like a new Lannister twins, Tylan and Jason Lannister, which I wonder, are we going to see more of them? So that's like interesting addition. But yeah, but like towards the end of that battle, I was just like, I was annoyed because like he should have died.
Yeah.
Like I'm coming out here in open field. I'm by myself. I don't even have my dragon. Kill me now. Like put all of the arrows in me and I would be dead. Like WTF.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a show called Vinland Saga right now. It's about Vikings, and let me tell you how many arrows, like people are like pincushions in that show. So just watching him just run, it's like a stormtrooper. It's like he was literally getting shot at by stormtroopers. They could not hit him. It was so stupid.
Yeah, it was a little ridiculous. I don't know. It was very season 8. You know, you're right, Melissa.
Yeah, and
that's a good way to put it.
While we're on that scene, the crab lord or whatever did not speak, not a single word. He just nodded meaningfully this way, and it meant different things. But like, oh, he nodded. That means you go, Rob. I don't know. That was weird. It was so stupid.
Tell me, how did he kill the Crab King? I didn't see this.
He sliced and diced him. Just, you know, they leave it up to the imagination. Like,
yeah, they should have shown that. Yeah, they should have shown that, but they didn't. Also, you know what I was asking myself? Like, isn't it supposed to be a big deal when someone knows how to ride a dragon?
Well,
oh yeah, who was that?
He's Rhaenyra Targaryen. He's also part of Old Valyria, so that's why he.
Okay, so that's it. I thought maybe that was it, but then in my head it was just Targaryens that had dragons and knew how to ride them. But
no, like
maybe it's a Valyrian thing.
Yeah,
no, and so do the Darkfires.
It's a Valyrian thing, so it's not like a huge deal that he knew how to ride a dragon.
Yeah, there's another family called the Darkfires that also has dragons.
Yeah, but I kept wondering, where was Syraxes though? Because I felt like, aren't they like attached to their fucking dragons? Like if he's out here in his white flag, like where's your dragon? But he was.
Well, the crab feeder saw it all coming the whole way. The crab feeder was just kept looking over those mountains, which is just what makes it extra surprising.
He saw the CGI in the fog.
Yeah, makes it extra surprising that they fell for it. They literally all came out.
So you said
one guy
that the crab, what's it called? The Stepstone storyline served its purpose. What do you think was the purpose exactly? Can you go more into
Vietnam?
So I think it serves for Daemon's character development, plot arc, all of that stuff, that he would kind of take on that mission on his own without Viserys's approval, and that he would win on his own. Kind of keeps that going, because it was about to be a
character moment.
It's his backstory, right? They're building his backstory. So now he's somebody that's still kind of pushing his position as the rightful heir, and he's kind of taking this leadership role, like this rogue leadership role within Westeros. So basically, he took care of that problem on his own without any help from the king. Is the background now.
But at what cost? It looks like the Gold Cloaks don't respect him anymore. Or like maybe they do after like what he did, but like during the episode, they were just like face palming.
Honestly, I mean, he was starting to lose some support, it seems, because they were losing. But I think after this, it kind of cements that like he's a badass.
I mean,
he survived the unsurvivable, you know?
A badass because somebody else came in and did what's that called? The Deus Ex Machina, like because somebody else come in with the dragon.
Well, but it was part of the plan, right? Like they needed somebody to come in and be the decoy so that they could do that. and he was the only one brave enough or dumb enough to do it. Damon's an interesting character, man. I keep
He
I
is
keep being
interesting.
surprised by him, and I'm not always sure that it's in the best ways.
He barely spoke, which is interesting.
I will agree to say he is interesting. I did a YouTube short that got like over 1,000 views just like on him because I do think he's a very like dynamic character, but I think I just kind of like hating on the writers of the episode about how like, that whole like, battle was.
This episode is really not good. It's like they wanted to do a little bit of Pirates of the Caribbean for a little while, and then they were like, no, we got to go back to dragons.
Just a little bit, yeah. I think the actor is playing him really well. I just feel like I still haven't like got a grip on him that much. Seems like he's like a little stupid, a little reckless, like just dives into everything head first. Yeah. And then there's also like the side of him that like really loves his family and isn't willing to do anything bad to them. But then there's also the part of him that like just hates his family, that he would like make these crazy moves, like half of them just to piss them off. It's like he wants them to be pissed off, but he doesn't want them to be in any kind of danger, is what I'm gathering. Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah. Because he keeps surprising me. But 3 episodes
and he killed the messenger.
He tried to.
Power move. You know where else they did that? Vinland Saga. Vinland Saga so far is better than House of the Dragon.
Oh, that's gonna make the shorts.
I should not have said something bad about House of the Dragon, I guess.
Before we move past Daemon, anything else happened with him in this episode?
He said like 5 words.
Go ahead. Yeah, he didn't say much. I do think it's interesting not only that he beat up the messenger, but that the messenger like kind of had good news.
Right?
Yeah. Well, because like he was mad, I guess not at the messenger, but like he was pissed off that like his brother has to come to his rescue because he's trying to be out here and prove his worth, because worth is not given, it must be made. So
I know. And I feel like I got that all at once, and yet I was still curious to hear what the message said, and then it was like even nicer than I imagined.
Voiceover. Yeah.
It's like, I'm sending 1,000 ships and 200-foot soldiers. I love you, Viserys. And he was like, "Ugh, I can't believe that guy.
I don't need your help."
Exactly. He only spoke early in the episode, and it was something like, "Where are you, crab feeder?" So like he comes up the hill when they had the messenger, and I was like, oh, now he's gonna open his big mouth and say something stupid like hello.
Okay,
he's a great actor, but
move on to Daenerys Targaryen, because our king is y'all, like he is like, I can't make a decision without, he's like, I can't help someone without pissing somebody off. Basically, it is hard to be king. I feel like you really see and feel it in this episode. Heavy is the head. He didn't think he would remarry. He remarried, and now he has a son, but he already made this promise to his daughter and the realm. So we kind of see him going back and forth with it. So how do you guys feel about Viserys in this episode?
King trash. He sucks. He doesn't do anything. He's so like, I get it. He's like, it's my son's birthday. I don't want to deal with this, but it's like,
sometimes you want a day off. Like I understand him. But
2 years off, apparently. I don't know. He's so he's like, I don't know how to speak to my daughter.
He's a terrible father, I'll tell you that. He doesn't know how to handle her, he doesn't know how to talk to her. He was pissing me off during the whole episode. But I also did feel a little bit bad for him, just because he has so many hard decisions and he's always like making somebody sad or angry, and he has to make these decisions all the time. It's hard to be king. I get it. It's hard.
Yeah, I actually grew to like Viserys a little more in this episode. I still feel like, he doesn't do crap and he makes emotional decisions. I don't think he's a good king or like the perfect person, obviously. I just think he's interesting as a character, and his character's starting to crystallize a little more. I don't think he's like a bad father. I just think It's interesting. You're still like the first episode is carrying over, right? Like the decision he had to make with Rhaenyra's mom, I think, is defining his relationship with his daughter. Like he wants to make that decision right by sticking with Rhaenyra. I think that's playing partly into why he's adamant on her being
Oh my
his
God.
heir.
So it's more guilt than love for his daughter, you think?
I mean, it's both, but I
Over killing-
definitely think that the Alicent thing was more forced on him, and his true, like, when he felt like he was on his true path, he was with Rhaenyra's mother, and then he had to make that awful decision that he's never going to live down, and now he's I think acting on it by sticking with Rhaenyra and trying to do right by her.
Mm. So
I like that they showed. Oh, go ahead.
So kind of like I made the awful decision that I had to do with my wife and child. So like I have to stick through it and make good on my word, basically, to Rhaenyra.
Yeah, I think when he looks at Rhaenyra, he's like reminded of everything that happened there, and like he said, he gave up kind of on his dream of having that male heir that he forced on Rhaenyra's mother for so long, and ended up basically being the thing that killed her. That like he gave up on all of that and he was all in on Rhaenyra, and it's carrying over to this, where like even where everyone around him is advising him to make his new son the heir, he's sticking with Rhaenyra against all the politics of it. So I like that. I like that there's that element of like guilt where this guy who doesn't really want to do anything is actually like putting his foot down about this thing. He's just a very emotional character, right? Like he married the second time more for love than for politics. He's doing this heir thing, I think, more out of like that guilt and that love for like his first wife and first daughter and first family, really.
Mm-hmm.
I lost a little respect for him today.
Mm.
In which scene?
Yeah.
Which
in the
scene?
hunt. It was the hunt. They had the heart and it was all tied up and they're like, all right, you go, you're hunting, king, do the thing. And it's like hunting for babies, they just set it up. So I'm thinking like, did Bobby B do this? Did Bobby B get skewered by a hog that was being like held down? Like, I don't care about Viserys. All I think about is Bobby B. And I came into the show like open-minded. I was like, this is gonna be great. And now I'm like, I just want to watch Game of Thrones.
I definitely thought of Bobby B as well, King Bob, King Robert Baratheon.
Because we know he got killed.
Yeah, he got killed in a hunt with a boar, and I was pretty sure that the boar was not set up for him like that.
Because he was a warrior, he had like a warhammer and shit.
Robert Baratheon was more of a warrior. I think he enjoyed being part of the hunt, and the boar killed him. I thought it was a little bit BS. Like there was a point where Rhaenyra was just like holding back the boar with her hands for a second.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was like a little BS, but I was willing to accept it since
I was like, you should be injured. Like you should be maimed.
Yeah.
Killed Robert Baratheon. What?
I mean, maybe it's like a baby. It didn't seem that big.
She's like a, petite little girl with her little tiny wrists.
Like,
and then the sword was like an inch away from her nose too, and he skewered it.
Yes, so many times in this episode, I was annoyed.
I was not worried for a single character all episode long. I was like, oh, the boar, it's gonna be fine. Hottie McHot's gonna get it. Oh no, actually no, that's not true. I thought Viserys was gonna die. I thought he was gonna get antlered.
Antlered?
Yeah, I thought he was gonna get skewered.
By the stag that they were just holding there.
Yeah. I mean, like they thought it was dead, but it was like,
funny.
It was shot with lots of tension.
That scene was kind of weird to me. I feel like it just
where he stabbed the
Yeah, I mean, I guess it like came together once Rhaenyra saw the white stag, right? Because they were saying the white stag was like a symbol
of shiny Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like a symbol of like the royalty, and they were expecting to find it for his son. but Rhaenyra kind of saw it in the wild. So I guess that scene just serves to show that they did not find the white stag for his son. But watching him kill it, I was like, what am I supposed to get out of this?
I was worried he was going to die. But otherwise, it was like, oh, no, Daemon's in an open field. Here we go.
Did you guys notice
over it.
Viserys is missing 2 fingers?
Viserys?
I was looking for it. I was looking to see if he was missing
2 now.
fingers.
So like every
What
episode
scene?
we see it a little bit of him missing. Like he
What
is
scene
falling
though? I
apart
was
each
looking.
episode. So
Interesting. I didn't catch
where
it.
he's by the fire and he's talking to Alicent. Because he's drinking his wine and I noticed his 2 fingers are missing.
Interesting.
Diabetes.
Yeah, I missed it.
He's slowly dying, y'all.
Yeah.
It's better than Grayscale.
I wonder if he'll die before they like time jump to these older actors.
I'm gonna guess and say yes.
Would they? I mean, I don't know how he dies. I don't know if it's noteworthy, but
I don't know how
that'd be weird. Has anyone died off camera in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
We
didn't actually see Stannis Baratheon die. We just saw Brienne.
Oh, that was just a season 7 cop out or season 6
season
or whatever.
5.
Yeah. Some people like it's very heavily implied, and then they die off camera. I mean, maybe Robert Baratheon is one of those. Actually, you don't see the boar. You don't see the boar scene at all, and then I think when he
but he came home.
Yeah, you see him on his deathbed a little bit, but I think once he actually dies, it's just like they say it on the news.
On Westeros CNN.
Yeah. You're like, breaking news. Yeah, all of a sudden they just like Ned is working on something to like fix the line of succession, and then they're like, oh, Joffrey's the king now.
Yes.
That's how I remember it in my head, at least.
So jumping over to the princess, the heir, quote unquote, because I feel like that's like still up in the air somehow. She is feeling very kind of like unsure of her own position in her house and her family. She still has kind of like a screwed up relationship with her father. They can't really talk to each other. And she's annoyed that he's making decisions about her and, you know, her needing to marry. And we see she's not really friends again with Miss Alicent Hightower. So how do you guys feel about Rhaenyra in this episode?
I'm just going to be sad when the actor changes over. I really, really like this chick.
She's great. She's getting a lot of praise online. And everyone's saying they are so sad already when she has to leave the show, and then the actress who's playing older takes over. So I think maybe because of the great response, we may get more flashback scenes in the future, perhaps. But maybe not. We'll see.
I hope so. I like that she got to. She had FaceTime with What is House Cole? Is that like a Baratheon?
I'm not sure. I know that I couldn't find an emoji for his sigil. So
I've been waiting for them to talk for like 3 episodes.
And we got to see that.
But it was just like, we should go back. No.
Do you guys think that she's going to end up with him or the Dragon Rider guy? Because they did set that up as well.
What Dragon Rider?
What did they do with him?
The son of Lord Corlys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Laenor?
Oh my God! Wait, he has 2
They
sons?
set up that would be like a smart.
Because I thought he had
marriage.
But didn't he have a little girl and a little boy?
Yes, but remember, it's like 2 years later. So I guess.
Oh, but I thought it. Oh no, I thought it was the little boy. I didn't know it was some guy. The guy that was at the. No.
It's the guy who's saying the plan. Is the one.
Yikes!
I
thought he had a little boy. I was like, oh no, another like child situation.
I thought so too, but I guess he's not a little boy.
Maybe he has 2 sons.
What did you ask, Andres? I'm sorry.
I said, do you think she'll end up with this Dornish guy, or do you think she'll end up with Lord Corlys' son, which was another option presented in this episode, the more political option?
Her father advised her, like, he's being a hypocrite, which I'm happy that she calls him out on, because he's like, marriages are all about alliances. She's like, but you didn't marry Alicent because of an alliance. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's true. And I was waiting for more of an explanation, but he doesn't explain himself.
I wanted more of an explanation too.
Yeah.
They cut off that scene way too soon. But
there's like so many missing moments. It's annoying. But yeah. I think she may make an alliance type of situation. and be smarter than her father?
You know, I actually think the best decision is to marry her to the baby, because the
Mm,
baby's not going to be able to do anything for a really long time. So she can just kind of wait it out and then maybe not do it with him. I don't know.
You mean, what do you mean? Not
So out of all the options, you were like,
Otto's right.
give me that baby.
Well,
Because like
Otto's-
she buys like, okay, she doesn't want to have kids, like, you know, they're like, oh, you're gonna be pregnant soon too, and she's like, so like if the baby is the option, then she could literally just age out of pregnancy. Like, you don't have to do it. You're too, they're gonna be like, you're 35, you're an old hag. Like, whatever
Yeah.
age people die in these days.
So the confusing thing about the baby, whether she marries him or not, is he's going to feel, and people around him probably as well might drive it as well. He's going to feel like he's got a claim to the throne. So you might see that kind of like pop up, like even if Rhaenyra takes the throne, who knows how long she'll last. I feel like she is going to. I mean,
really? Because
I do feel like she's going to be there at least some point. I mean, they could be setting up like some kind of terrible Ned Stark or Red Wedding situation, but that White Stag, I don't know, it sold me.
well, that's the thing, because it reminded me of season 8 so much. And remember in that scene where like Arya is like in this fire, she's rescuing people, and she sees like the white horse, and like it meant nothing. So I don't know. I don't know about this white stag. I would have taken it as, oh, this is a symbol. She's the chosen one, but it could be BS as well. And
That could be fake out.
Yeah. And I feel like because there are people around them like Jason Lannister and also Otto Hightower, they're all like, no, like obviously Aegon is the next heir. So there's people who are still like in doubt. And I hate to say this, but I'll just jump to him anyway. Otto is saying to Alicent, you know, it doesn't matter if she was Jaehaerys himself, like the people of the realm are not going to follow a woman. So it's not even just him, but he's probably right about how most people feel in the kingdom. They're not going to want to have a queen. So I think that's going to be a struggle, and she may not make it to the throne.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I just feel like she might make it to the throne, and who knows how long she'll last, or she'll be like just fighting off people for a long time. I think that, I don't know, I'm getting the vibe that that's a big part of the story we're being told, is like the first queen of Westeros, maybe.
I feel like she would also be a warrior queen. You know, she just shows up, I got a hog. What's next? It's like, this is going to escalate. Like, why was that scene shown? I assume, you know, when her father passes, she's just going to ride dragons and fight. And I don't know. I don't see another life for her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they're setting it up. I don't remember also, like, I'm trying to think to Game of Thrones and if they ever talked about whether or not there had been an actual queen of Westeros. I guess Cersei technically
But
was
she's one. I don't think there's been a woman on this.
Was she supposed to be like the first queen?
They didn't say anything about
They
it.
didn't mention it.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I feel like they would have mentioned
after Cersei became queen. You never saw King's Landing at all. You never saw the people at all. That, like, from the moment she became queen, like they never tried her for like the thing about the sept, and she just sat around for the rest of the 2 seasons,
drinking her wine.
Yep.
Yeah. Waiting for Daenerys. Well, I guess she was involved in like, dude, I don't know, those seasons were so bad, but she was involved in like the plan to deal with the White Walkers, right?
I don't know. Otto's an interesting character, though.
Otto, yes.
Otto.
Yeah,
Otto, he didn't do much this.
No, he just tells people what to do.
Yeah, he did have that interesting scene with Alicent, because he's basically still. I thought it was interesting that he basically asked Alicent to, you know, get your husband to change his mind, and then we see Alicent, I guess, still continuing to be a pawn in this game, and she goes in there when she has that scene with Viserys to, you know, try to push the envelope, like Aegon should be the heir. But then I thought it was interesting that they talk about the war that's going on, and she's like, no, like, you have to do something. And that's not something that we saw her father told her to say. So I think she kind of has like her own mind. Finally, I'm kind of seeing that now. So I liked seeing that, you know, if she has to be queen. Like do something.
I like it whenever they show her on screen. I like it. You know, like I know the gears are turning, something's happening. Like, will she listen to her father? Does she have her own thing? Like, I just want to know. Like, they kept meaningfully showing her like watching from the distance all the time.
That's why
I think the gears are turning. Yeah, I like her.
Yeah, she's an interesting character to watch.
I think she made like a big maturity jump from second episode to the third episode.
Yeah,
where
imagine all the things that
now
happened
she's the
in
queen,
between.
you know.
Yeah,
and
how sad.
And she's making some of the like her own decisions.
Sounds like she has a happy marriage. It's not that sad for her,
I guess.
Yeah, she is kind of in a happy marriage, huh?
She's in a happy marriage.
She loves her son. She doesn't feel like he needs to be king for her to love him.
I know this is messed up, but like for a second, I roasted the baby. Like they just were like, "Okay, take Aegon away," and he was like, "Blah!" And I'm like, "What a horrible baby sound to put in this TV show." I don't know.
I like barely paid attention to what he looks like.
He looked like I was surprised when they said he was 2.
Yeah,
he was a little younger.
I thought he would be younger too. I was like, "Whoa, 2 year."
Like at 2, they speak. They don't just go. Blah, blah, blah.
They speak a little bit. They say some words and they run around. I feel like he was just like being like a baby, like carried around like a little baby.
I know nothing about this baby, but apparently, like from all the memes, this is
not a good baby.
This is a bad baby. This is one of those crazy Targaryens, apparently.
Damn it! I don't want to know anything about that.
Shit. Okay. I only saw a meme. I know nothing.
Not read us fucking Reddit comments.
It was a Breaking Bad meme, and it was funny.
Okay, no more memes. We don't want to be spoiled. What was I going to say? Okay, so...
Bad baby. Bad baby.
I mean, it's like 50-50. They say they flip a coin when the Targaryens are born. We're going to get some crazies.
We know. I'm hoping we do get more of a conversation, like I said in the earlier of this after show, that we see more of a moment between Alicent and Rhaenyra. Because, like, what's up? You married my dad. You didn't even tell me. So, like,
I still want that conversation you were talking about, Melissa, where it's like, what the hell?
What's going on? Like, I think we're owed that. And then who else do we have here? Who else showed up in this episode?
Crab guy.
Criston Cole.
Criston Cole. Yeah. So it's been 2 years, and obviously in this time jump, we're supposed to infer things. Like, obviously he and Rhaenyra got closer because, like, I think the way that they're talking to each other, it's like it's more of like that friendly vibe. I'm hoping if she has to marry for politics, they have an affair. She'll take a lover.
It seems like something like that's at least gonna happen.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens.
Because aren't the Gold Cloaks supposed to give up? Like, aren't they celibate?
No, but that's the Watch, isn't it?
No, it's also the Gold Cloaks. I think. Like, wasn't Jaime supposed to be celibate? That's why Jaime wasn't married.
Is that true?
I don't know.
We can look it up after.
But we all know that they still go to like the pleasure houses and bang people. So the Night's Watch always did that.
Just Podrick.
Oh, except for him. But then eventually he did lose his V. Who else showed up in this episode? We see Corlys Valeryon.
Who?
Corlys Valeryon.
The seahorse man.
Sea snake.
Yes.
His brother, who is famous, I guess. Yeah.
He the king, right?
Is he a king? Or he's the
he said something last time about his brother being somebody important.
He is the king, and then he's the second son. That's right. And then we see his son.
He had a whole speech. It's like, we are the second sons.
I love
and
that.
He was the one that said crabs will soon dine on all of us.
I bought this hat for one episode. Damn it!
It's worth it. It's good. We needed somebody to represent the crabs today on the
crabs
last
were going to
day.
be a whole thing.
I was pretty certain that they couldn't keep on with this crab nonsense. Like, crabs are not scary, dude. Look at your head right now.
But they tried to convince us that they were.
I know, it wasn't working. That's like why I knew it couldn't go on. The longer it went, the more people were going to tune out.
I guess so.
Come on, they pinch? Really?
And they're so small.
Yeah.
Like that one guy.
The guys there at the beginning, like ah!
He was crucified.
He was like this big.
And eaten by the crabs.
Help.
How do you train a crab to enjoy human flesh in the first place? I got
Place them in the
questions. What are
body.
they doing in the free cities?
Place them in the body.
How free are they?
God, we never got to hear him speak. The Crab King.
Crab feeder.
No, he spoke in emojis.
Oh, did he?
Just
Yeah,
look around.
He was nice and creepy. I mean,
He had a name.
He had a gray.
Prince something.
Who was he?
I don't know.
He had grayscale. Is that what it's called? I keep forgetting.
Yeah, that is grayscale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So MVP of the episode for you guys. Let me know. What are your thoughts? And people of the future who are watching this, let me know who you think is the MVP of the episode. We got a lot of different opinions.
I'm gonna go.
That's a hard one.
I'm gonna go Viserys. Like I said, I feel like he became a little more like his character became a little more clear to me, and he's not great at like anything he's doing, but he's very interesting and emotional, and yeah, I like that. I feel like him and Rhaenyra were really like what drove this episode. But since we're not going to have Viserys as long as Rhaenyra, I'll give him the MVP.
For me, there's one person who was completely dedicated the entire episode, did their job well to the fullest of their extent, and it was the minstrel in the Godwood. I don't know if you caught it, but when she was telling him to repeat the song, he was singing like he didn't care, and then the queen showed up, and he was singing beautifully in front of her. It was so funny. It was such a small thing, but I like that.
I'll throw on top of that I did catch when she asked him to play the song again. He looked at his little fingers like they hurt. Like he'd been playing all day. Like
it's like we still do this to this day. Like just hit the song on repeat. We're all human. That showed her humanity.
I did not notice that. MVP for me. Just because I feel like with this episode, I feel like we kind of saw this character have more of like a moment where they came up with saying something that's adding more interesting layers to them, and that's Alicent Hightower. So I already thought she was interesting, but like in this episode, it's kind of like proving more of a point, like why we want to pay attention to her, because she does have something going on in her mind, and I'm excited to see, like the onion that she is. So I will call her out as my MVP for this week in this otherwise 2.7 episode rating that I gave.
Yeah, another setup.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to happen in the next one?
Oh. Are you going to predictions?
Oh my God. How did I do that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's a good one.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say there's going to be another time jump because there's been one in every single episode so far. I don't know how far this time. I saw the trailer for episode 4, but I already forgot it. I forgot.
I didn't watch it. I heard it on my way up here, but I did not watch it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything from the trailer. I will go big or go home and say Viserys dies in episode 4.
Ooh, hopefully somebody has to die already.
How many episodes is this?
It's going to be 10, right? Is that accurate? Okay. 10. So, yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to die next episode, but he's losing fingies like crazy.
He's missing 2. I thought it was very interesting that they didn't even show it just the one that got injured, but like they showed, something else happened and he lost another finger during the 2 years.
But like, what are the possibilities? Like, okay, so Daemon's probably even more upset because his claim to the throne is less now that Aegon exists, even though he's not named the heir, right? So like, he's just gonna, I don't know what's gonna happen to him. I don't even know, did he marry that lady? Does he have heirs? I don't know. It's been 2 years.
He's already married, but he was trying to have like a second wife. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. And then like Viserys has to die. He has no job but to die.
Yeah.
Rhaenyra, where do you go from? I guess she has to go find a boyfriend.
Yeah, yes, she does, because he told her, you have to marry, but I'm going to let you choose who to marry.
Mm-hmm.
So that I think we'll see her choose her mate in episode 4. Good call.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll see. You know what? I'm predicting also it's going to be more of like a Daemon heavy episode.
Yeah,
which
'cause now
we haven't really gotten yet.
Yeah, we get like moments, but now he's had a victory because he won this war at the Stepstone.
So we got to see what he does with that, and then also get some of that clarity on his character because he's jumping. He's way too rogue prince for me. He's not
like,
even
does he
making
really want
sense
the
half the
throne?
time.
Does he want the throne, or does he just want to like fuck around and find out?
He wants to be close because he was mad that like you didn't even pick me to be your hand. Like he doesn't feel like he's important in his brother's court.
Yeah, like, is he doing this out of spite or out of real desire to lead? I don't think he wants to lead. I think he wants to actually go and fight people.
But we don't
Yeah,
know
I think it's a little bit out of spite. Like I think it's a family dynamics thing. Like he wants that respect.
Mm.
But like I said, he keeps surprising me, so we'll see.
He's definitely one to keep your eye on. He is one of the more interesting characters. I do agree. Any more predictions before we say bye-bye to our future people who are watching us?
Is the white stag coming back?
No, that was a one-time symbol, hopefully. I keep thinking, oh, are they going to show a dire wolf in the woods? But we're not really seeing like any Stark, so maybe not.
No, we saw one guy. His name was Rickon.
That's right.
In episode 1, yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching us. We're going to be back next week. I forgot to see the episode title, but we'll be back with episode 4. And again, let me know your rating between 1 and 5 dragons. And let me know your predictions and who the MVP is. And share this with your Game of Thrones loving friends. And some of you guys have let me know that you like the content, but you DM me. If you want to really help me, leave the engagement publicly, so that Google can see it. The Google
Shout out to Chris.
Comment for the algorithm, baby.
Yes, comment for the algorithm and like it. Hit the thumbs up at the very least, because that will help. Cool. Anyway, have a lovely Sunday night. I will hang backstage with y'all to say bye to you guys first. But this was much fun as always. See you. Sing the song. Somebody.